So I wanted to show you guys a feature in Schoology that allows students to turn in audio responses to questions. I will preface this by saying that this does not work with Schoology tests and quizzes if a student is submitting the answer via an iPad. They could take a test or quiz and submit audio answers using a laptop, but not with an iPad. However, they can respond to assignments using audio, and so you really, you could. If this is voice or audio is something that a way that you want students to respond, you can certainly give a test, but create it in assignments. They just can't use the audio. They can't respond using audio on an iPad in tests and quizzes. So just keep that in mind. So Maureen Morrow and I were talking the other day about how she could have students record answers in Spanish. So she would give them a vocabulary word and they would record their answer and submit it to her. And we discovered that you're able to do this right within Schoology. And so what you're going to do is you go ahead and go into courses, get into the course that you want to create the assignment. It'll take me just a second here. It's opening up. I'm going to go into assignments. We're going to add material. I'm going to add an assignment. And give it a name. We'll just call it audio. I'm going to call it Spanish audio again. What is the Spanish word for hello? And when we set up the test, we can go ahead and make it. I'm going to make it daily homework, scale, or rubric. I can add an audio or voice recording to it on my end. So if I wanted to give instructions to go with this assignment, I could. But I can certainly add that in there as I do this. I'm going to give it a due date. I'm going to make it due tomorrow. Create. Alright, so I created that. We can see it someplace. Spanish audio down here. Now I'm going to switch over. I'm going to stop this recording. I'm going to switch over to an iPad and we can take a look and see what a student sees. So I'm now in Schoology on my iPad as a student. So I'm going to go over here, select my course. Select my course. I was in a biology course. I'm going to go to assignments. All the way down at the bottom, I have my audio assignment. So here's my you can see my Spanish audio assignment. I'm going to go ahead and select that. What is the Spanish word for hello? That is the question. In order to do a submission, the students would need to select submission and the plus sign. And they're going to go ahead and hit record audio. Okay, then we'll select record. So the Spanish word for hello is hola. I'm going to go ahead and submit mine. It's going to take a second to upload it, and it's going to send it, and so that will be the student's submission. This audio recording can be useful in a couple ways. It could be useful for a foreign language. It could be useful, we could use this, I could see a use for this in music, whether they recorded themselves playing notes or singing. It could be useful for students with a disability that either have a difficult time typing or have a difficult time if you're doing like short answer, essay response. They can verbalize their answers but have a difficult time spelling or writing, so it can be used in that way. I could also see this being used as a tool for test security. So even though we can't use tests and quizzes, you could write test questions and put them in as an assignment and have the students respond to them verbally. And so you'd have a recording of their voice versus them handing in something or for handing in answers. So I guess it could be security for tests or just regular assignments. So there's multiple uses for these audio recordings. Okay, so we're back in on the teacher side of Schoology now. And here's my Spanish audio assignment again. I'm going to jump back here just a little bit. I'm going to go back to the home. I'll go back home for just 1 second. I'm going to show you something here. We should be able to see. So here's my one ungraded assignment submission. So if I go ahead and click on that, here's my submission to Spanish audio. I'm going to turn the volume up on my computer here. I'm going to go ahead and open the Spanish audio up. Here is my submission from my practice student. It says it needs grading. I'm going to open this up. It's going to take a second to load. You can see the audio file that was submitted here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. That to open. It's going to right now it's exporting it to downloads because Schoology has not had the time to process that file yet. If we let this sit in Schoology for a little while longer, I can't tell you exactly how long, but Schoology is doing some processing to this, and eventually you'll be able to play this right within this Schoology grading window. Another nice thing to notice over here, so if you do that, you get an audio response from a student. Maybe we're talking about reading, or maybe you're talking about like a foreign language where there's a certain pronunciation that you want to use. You can actually give an audio or video recording back to those students as feedback. And you can do this on all assignments, actually. This is available. But I could see where this would be really helpful, like, for example, with foreign language. If they're, they pretty much have the word right, but there's a pronunciation error. You can give feedback using that tool there. So some great tools in Schoology. Like I said, this will process. It takes a little while for Schoology to process. This will process. If I was to come back in here in probably 10 or 15 minutes, this file would just be sitting here and we'd be able to open it up right in Schoology. It wouldn't download it and open it up in iTunes. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.